Lesson 4.6, multiplying decimals. In this lesson, we will work with problems where we're multiplying two factors together, but one of those factors is a decimal. In some ways, you're going to see a lot of similarities with traditional whole number multiplication. There's just a different step that we do to handle the decimals, and we will practice that. Let's focus on the odd numbered problems and get started. Number 1, 5/10 multiplied by 10. In this problem, the decimal 5/10 will require us to push the decimal point one place to the right. Whoop! And when we do that, push one place to the right, that clears the decimal point out and makes this into 5. And then I've simply flip-flopped the order to show 10 on top because 10 is the larger between 10 and 5. So now I've rewritten this problem as 10 times 5, but I've made a note to myself that I've pushed a decimal point one place value. This is important because at the end when I solve this, I need to balance out that move by coming in one place from the end and inserting a decimal point one place to the left. So let's do that. 5 times 10, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 1 is 5, we get 50. But then imagining a decimal point here, I'm going to come in one place, pew, and insert a decimal point, and I'm going to get 5 and 0/10 or plain old 5. Number 3, 9/100 multiplied by 2. How many places do we need to push the decimal point to clear it out? Whoop, whoop. If you said 2, you'd be correct. The new problem becomes 9 times 2, making a note to ourselves that at the end we've got to come in two place values from the end to insert a decimal point. 9 times 2, of course, is 18. Now, imagine a decimal point here and come in two place values to the left. Pew, pew. Insert that decimal point right there. We get an answer of 18/100. Number 5, 24/100 times 7. Whoop, whoop. 2 pushes out. I can think about this problem now as 24 multiplied by 7. 7 times 4 is 28. The 8 will come down. 2 gets carried. 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 2 is 16. Come into place values. Pew, pew. 1 and 68/100. Number 7. 2 pushes will do the job. Whoop, whoop. The new problem becomes 9 times 60. I'm going to rewrite that as 60 times 9. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 6 is 54. Come in two place values. Pew, pew. 5 and 40/100. Number 9. 2 pushes. Whoop, whoop. The new problem is 15 times 93. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 comes down, 1 gets carried. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 1 is 4. 0 placeholder. Cross out what I had carried previously. 9 times 5 is 45. 5 comes down, 4 gets carried. 9 times 1 is 9, plus the 4. It's 13. Add my columns. 5 and 0 is 5. 4 and 5 is 9. 3 comes down, 1 comes down. And now, remember, I need to come back in two places from the end to insert that decimal point. Pew, pew. 13 and 95/100. Life is more fun with sound effects, isn't it? Especially math. Number 11, 7 and 39/100 multiplied by 2. How many places do we have to push the decimal point out to clear it? 2 places. Whoop, whoop. Solve this as if it's 739 multiplied by 2. 2 times 9 is 18. 8 comes down, 1 gets carried. 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Come in 2 places. Pew, pew. 13. Push that decimal point out 2 places. Whoop, whoop. The new problem becomes 19 multiplied by 263. I'm going to flip-flop those to put the larger number on top. And you know what? I'm just going to rewrite it below. I think I should have enough space. Knowing that I got to come in 2 spots once I solve this to insert the decimal point. First row is 263 times 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 7 comes down. 2 gets carried. 9 times 6, 54, plus the 2 is 56. 9 times 2 is 18, plus the 5, 23. 0 placeholder down. I'm going to cross out what I had carried earlier. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. Add up my columns. 7 and 0 is 7. 6 and 3 is 9. 3 and 6 is 9. 2 and 2 is 4. And come in from the end. Pew, pew. 49 and 97 hundredths. 15. 9 and 3 hundredths multiplied by 154. Whoop, whoop. 2 pushes will clear out the decimal point. Now I can solve this problem as if it's 903 multiplied by 154. So we know the first row is going to be 903 times 4. For the second row, we'll put a 0 placeholder down and do 903 times 5. For the third row, we're going to put 2 0 placeholders down and do 903 times 1. Let's get started. First row, 903 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 2 comes down, 1 gets carried. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1. 4 times 9 is 36. First row is now complete. 0 placeholder down. Second row, 5 times 3 is 15. 5 comes down, 1 gets carried. 5 times 0 is 0 plus the 1 is 1. 5 times 9 is 45. Second row is complete. Third row, put 2 0 placeholders down and solve. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 9 is 9. Add them up. 2 and 0 is 2. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 1 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. 0 comes down, 1 gets carried. 1 and 3 is 4. 4 and 5 is 9. And finally, 4 and 9 is 13. And remember how many places we need to come in from the end? Pew, pew! We get a final answer of 1,390 and 62 hundredths. Okay. We have a word problem here that I think I'm going to talk you through but not solve in the interest of time. 3 runners started making a table or keeping a log for July to show how far that they run every day, every week for the entire month. Finish the table for the runners. So we have 3 runners, Cedric, Shannon, Regina. And here in this column is the number of miles that are running each day. Cedric is coming in at 0.8 of a mile a day, Shannon 2 9/10 a day, and Regina 2 1500 miles a day. To calculate how many miles they're running each week, we're going to take this value and multiply by 7. And so if we were solving, we would, for Shannon, we'd take her amount, her distance per day, multiply by 7. For Regina, distance per day, multiply by 7. And then if we're trying to calculate it for the whole month, you're taking that amount per day and multiplying by 31. Okay? And that's the idea here. But as I said, in the interest of time, I think we will leave that one alone for today.